Hello, guys, and welcome back to the NW Sportscast. Today, we got our Seahawks pregame show. We're going to be doing some predictions and just, feeling out how this game against the Browns is going to go. It's a pretty big game. The Colts just put up 38 against the Browns, but other than that, they've been a really good defense. Levi, how do you think the offense is going to perform against a really good defense in the Browns?
I don't.
Okay, Levi, not confident. Uh,
No, not confident in our offense.
can you tell me a specific reason why?
Well, the Browns have a really good defense, and we've seen it throughout the whole season up until last week. Gardner Minshew obviously diced him up. I think we can chalk that up to the fact that the Browns didn't really prepare for Gardner Minshew. They didn't really know what he was going to throw at them. And I really do not think that's going to be the norm going forward for them. I think that the norm for the Browns is we're a team that shuts you down offensively. We are a team that gets at you in the trenches. We are a team with Myles Garrett who's going to rush the hell out of your quarterback. And they've done well against the run and against the pass. So I think that honestly, like there's a few blown coverages that Gardner Minshew took advantage of. He had a few really deep passes that really helps him out. But I think that game was more about them just being underprepared, and they still found a way to win. So I think that this game, their Browns are going to get back on track defensively, and they're gonna give Geno Smith all that he can handle.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I think Myles Garrett is going to wreak havoc in the backfield for us. We're gonna have to double him most of the game, I assume, because that guy, outside of a few people like Nick Bosa and a couple
Yeah,
of arguably one of the best defensive players in the league. So we're gonna have to put a couple guys because we don't have a super good offensive line. It's not terrible, but yeah, we'll see what happens because Geno Smith doesn't do great when he's pressured. He doesn't have the same ability to get outside the pocket and create plays like Russell Wilson once had, and he does good when he has time in the pocket. So we're gonna have to give him a little bit of time, and yeah, we'll see what happens on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Seahawks should fare pretty well, Levi. We look like we've been getting better week in and week out. Rookies are starting to really play well. Devin Witherspoon, some people have him as one of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. I think that's a little bit over dramatic, but he is playing like that. He's playing really, really well. You still got Rick Wallen. Jamal Adams is finally back. Uh, this defense definitely could give Browns all they could handle. Uh, this could be a low scoring game, no?
yeah, I totally agree. The Browns do one thing good offensively, and it is they have two really good backup running backs who have filled in admirably for Nick Chubb. They run the ball really, really well. The Seahawks, though, we have a really good defense for stopping the run. We haven't been allowing not un like last year we let guys run all over us. This year that has not been the case. We're actually doing a really good job
Yeah, we
of
are.
stopping the run.
Without
And
our word. Yeah.
as good and now Jerome Ford, it looks like he's unlikely to play. Rest in peace, Jerome Ford, for my fantasy team, but that's really good for the Seahawks. So really, you're going up against Kareem Hunt, who like 3 weeks ago, Kareem Hunt wasn't even on a team. So I'm not that worried that the Browns are going to run the ball all over us because A, their two starting backs are both down, and B, we stopped the run well. As far as passing, the Browns can't throw the ball. Like last week they scored 39 points. You know what PJ Walker's stat line was? He was like 13 for 27 with a pick, no touchdowns, and like 150 yards. He was very much terrible. He played terrible. He was outplayed the entire game by Gardner Minshew, and somehow the Browns still won. But that's just because of that defense. The defense put them in really good field position at times. Got a couple of I think they picked off Gardner Minshew two or three times as well. Um, and Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford both scored two touchdowns. But now, Jerome Ford's out. Like I said, not that worried about Kareem. So I think that the Seattle defense is probably going to have a really good game today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it'll go really well if we, yeah, limit the run game. Kareem Hunt, although he wasn't on a team 3 weeks ago, he's still the dynamic back, especially catching the ball out of the backfield. Deshaun Watson will not play, correctly, but
I believe he is not playing. He's listed as doubtful because of his shoulder. Let's look. Let me look up his injury status just as of today. It changes every day, I swear. But
depends on
yeah,
Deshaun Watson's mood.
as of yesterday, he is officially out. So yeah, it's a shoulder injury. So he left the game last week with a concussion after being cleared for the shoulder. And then they said they cleared him for the concussion too, but then he still didn't come back, and now he's still not playing. So, yeah, he will not be in the game. So it's gonna be PJ.
And PJ Walker's not super good, so that this we should capitalize. We really should.
Yeah, you gotta capitalize when you're playing a backup.
I mean, this has got to be a win, especially when you look at some of the teams we play coming up. You can't
Yeah.
drop a game against the Browns to a backup quarterback and no running back. And yeah, this the more and more this week has gone on, the more and more this should be a win. We also signed Frank Clark. Levi, how do you think at all? How do you think he'll affect this game, if at all?
To be honest, I'm not excited for that signing at all. Frank Clark was terrible in the Broncos. I think he's washed. So I'm not really sure why we're signing washed players. Obviously, Uchenna Nwosu looks like he's going to be out for the season. So that's like a major hit. But I feel like personally, instead of signing like washed guys who literally are not good at all, I think we should sign. We could go out and make a trade for an actual like good player. The trade deadline coming up, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. But I'm kind of frustrated if they think that's going to be the best they can do. Because literally the Broncos just released him for nothing because that's how bad he is. He is not at all the same player he was on Seattle and Kansas City on those teams that were actually good. Frank Clark, yeah, I'm not even sure if he'll play this week. He just signed, so we'll see if he makes an impact. But
Yeah. I don't think he provides zero value like you're trying to say right now. Just a couple years ago, he was solid. Yeah, he didn't have a great stretch with the Broncos there, but listen, maybe he's gonna come back to Seattle. Pete Carroll on that defense maybe installs a little bit of life into him, and we don't need him to be great. We don't need him to play 10, 15 snaps a game. Maybe, rush the quarterback a few times, get a few QB hurries, maybe a sack every 3 or 4 games. If that happens, I don't think this is a bad signing, but some pass rush would be really nice if we could try to trade for a pass rush guy in the NFL draft. I mean, in the trade deadline. The problem is they're just very, very hard to come by, and the teams that have them don't want to trade them.
well, supposedly Chase Young might be on the draft table.
I have heard that. Yeah.
Would you trade a first round pick for Chase Young?
Yeah, I probably would. I think
I would.
I don't think
I would.
we're not gonna have that good of a first round pick this year, hopefully. And like Chase Young was a top 5 pick. I mean, he's really, really good. So I would
Yeah.
do.
I mean, unless your plan is we're gonna keep that first rounder and hope that we're able to draft one of the top four quarterbacks. But the way it's looking is like there's about 10 teams, in my opinion, who are worse than us who would be stupid not to try to draft a quarterback. So I really don't think we're drafting a quarterback as much as I want us to. I really don't think that a quarterback's going to fall to us. So it's going to probably be another year of Geno next year. And if that's the case, then let's beef up that defense even more. Let's go get a game changing player. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
trade for Chase Young and then give him an extension, same way you did to Jamal. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion. Maybe people will say, well, Jamal got hurt, that didn't really pay off. But I mean, when he's healthy, he's good. So it's like, I don't know.
And that
Personally,
was a
I would
difference
do
there.
it.
That was two firsts. So
That was two firsts.
which is
Um,
I don't think I actually would do for Chase Young. But one
yeah.
first I
Well,
would.
because he only this is his last year. He didn't take the fifth year option, I believe, from the Commanders. So he'll be a free agent after this season. So you're basically trading for a rental and then hope that you can extend him. So you might not even need to trade a first. Honestly, you might be able to get him for a second since it's a rental.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Let's move on. We can talk more about this
yeah, I
on
agree.
Monday after the game. But Drew, let's hear your score prediction. Give me your quarter by quarter prediction.
Um, I think first quarter we come out. Both teams don't really get it going. Maybe a couple field goals by each side. Going into the half, I think we do score a touchdown. We're up 13-6. Browns respond. 13's no one scores in the third. And then fourth quarter, I think we win a 16-13 game-winning field goal. 3 points in the second half.
Yeah, honestly, I think that we're looking at yeah, 3-3, 3-3 in the first quarter. I think maybe like a 10-6 Browns have the lead at half. Let's say PJ Walker does what Josh Dobbs did to us and goes on a great drive, scores a touchdown. Third quarter, I don't think anyone scores in the third quarter, and then a couple of field goals in the fourth, and final score. I'm looking at a 15-13 Seahawks win. I don't think we're getting a touchdown. I have us with getting 5 field goals in
Wow.
this game. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Jason Myers goes 5 for 6 on the
Okay.
field
He
goals.
does miss one. Is
Yeah.
Metcalf gonna be back, Levi? He should be.
Um, I'm not sure. Let's check the injury report for that.
But yeah, guys,
I know Jamal Adams is questionable because he's always
always
questionable, but I
question.
think he is going to play. So DK, yeah, DK is going to play. Tyler Lockett actually is questionable. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be and again DK. This is if Tyler doesn't play, let's go out and dominate a game, DK.
I
You haven't
agree.
really done that yet. I haven't seen people are trying to say like, oh, DK is amazing. DK is having the best season of his career. DK, we should never like get rid of DK, but it's like I actually am not sold on DK right now. Like he's averaging about like 50 yards a game. Like he's been a very solid wide receiver too, but that's not what he's meant to be. So
Yeah,
let's go out
especially for
here.
what we're gonna have to sign him, like re-sign him for.
Yeah.
He's gonna get wide receiver one money just because of the name alone.
So let's go out and prove your wide receiver one, or else you can go sign with somewhere else, and we can have Jake Bobo and Jackson Najigma can be our future wide receiver core. But if you want to prove that you're worth it for us to keep you, go out there and dominate the Browns and help Geno Smith when he's gonna be under pressure. You know he's gonna be under pressure. So don't go all the way down the field and then whine about not getting the football. And don't, for the love of God, get into another fight. Because last time you were on the field, you got into a big fight and you made a big deal out of not getting the football and you got penalized twice for unsportsmanlike conduct. So I'm kind of done with the childish diva-like behavior of DK. You're
Yeah,
not putting up. He's not putting up like when AJ Brown gets into an argument on the sidelines with Jalen Hurts and says, "Give me the ball more." Like he's allowed to do that because the next 5 games, AJ Brown went 150 yards 5 games in a row. DK Metcalf, I don't think he's actually capable of putting up 150-yard games 2 games in a row. Nonetheless, 5. So you don't get to do the Antonio Brown thing or the AJ Brown thing where you're like complaining and acting like such a diva if you don't have the stats behind it to prove that you're actually that good. And I haven't seen this season DK actually doing that.
yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, obviously he's flashes. It's not many guys in the league that can run as fast as him. At how big he is, he's an athletic freak. But at the end of the day, he's not producing right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, how many touchdowns does he have this season? He has 2. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Let's go out there. Let's get some. I mean, I'm not predicting it that he will score a touchdown, but I hope he does because I think he needs it.
I agree. I think him scoring a touchdown would be really good for his morale and the team in general. So look,
All
guys,
right,
a couple of touchdowns should win it here. So let's see what happens. If DK gets a couple of tutties, there's a really good chance we win this game. So yeah, I think we both got a close Seahawk win, low scoring. You want to sign us off, Levi?
let's do our bold predictions real quick.
Okay.
Give me your 3.
Three predictions. I got let me go. Geno Smith throws 3 interceptions.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. Let's go. The
if
Seahawks.
if Gino throws 3 picks, I'm gonna be livid after the game.
Seahawks defense allows
Uh,
less than 100 yards passing to PJ Walker.
wow.
And my third one is let's go with I think I think Smith and Jigba will have another touchdown. I think the one touchdown he gets or we get will be JSN.
Okay. My three bold predictions. I'm going with both quarterbacks under 200 passing yards. Um, in this game, I am gonna
Good.
go with. Let's see here. I'm gonna say with uh the Browns will out sack uh the Seahawks.
Okay.
Maybe even significantly. Because I do not trust our offensive line against Myles Garrett. And number three, I think that Seattle, the defense is going to come away with 2 turnovers or possibly even more than that. But I think this is going to be, yeah, quite likely this could be a turnover heavy game.
Yeah, I agree.
And I believe the weather is not looking great in Seattle. Obviously, neither of us are there. So um, we don't really know. But let me check the weather report because I thought I saw it was going to potentially rain. That could also be a factor. Obviously, Seahawks should be accustomed to playing in the rain. Okay, so it's going to be a little cold. It's going to be not rainy anymore, but it's going to be about 50 degrees. Wow. Getting cold in Seattle, not like San Diego where it's 75. So hopefully the 12th man can also play a factor in this game. We are at home. And the bottom line is if you lose this game, it puts a lot more pressure on you to beat the Ravens. I would rather we win this game. And then if we do lose to the Ravens, I would feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All right. Well, with all that being said, guys, this has been the NW Sportscast Seahawks pregame show. Like and subscribe down below and leave us a comment about your score prediction. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think we're going to win? Are you a Browns fan and you just want to troll? Because you can do that too. We got a lot of trollers on this channel. And yeah, let us know, guys. What do you think? Is Gino going to have a bounce back game, or is this going to be another episode in the saga of Gino doesn't play very well, but the Seahawks still come away with a solid game?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, you're the one who's recording it,
All right,
so
good luck.